Foreign trade of India. Coming to the foreign trade, what comes inside the foreign trade of a nation? One part of foreign trade is export and import, and second part of the foreign trade is that foreign investment coming from a foreign country. Another important part of the foreign trade is the exchange rate of Indian currency. What is the value of Indian currency in comparison to any foreign currency? In the chapter of the foreign trade, we are going to learn these three matters. One is export and import. Second one is the investment from foreign countries into India. Third one is the exchange rate of Indian currency. Fourth one, the overall difference between inflow of foreign currency into India and the outflow of Indian currency into a foreign country. First, looking into the export and import of India. The largest trading partner of India at present is United States of America. Trading partner means we are calculating all accounts of export and import of India. Which country from which country we will be importing maximum? China. Everybody of you will have at least one Chinese product. At the same time, to which country we are exporting maximum? To the United States of America. That is why, because of the high amount of export into US has become the largest trading partner of India. Trading partner means we are calculating the total export and import. US gets the first prize because of the export of India. The second largest trading partner of India is China. And the highest import of India is coming from China, and the highest export of India is moving to United States of America. Coming to the other facts related to export and import. What do you feel? India will be exporting maximum services or goods. Our export of service is high or our export of goods is high? We are exporting maximum the services, IT services. India is a hub of IT services internationally. Tourism. When foreign tourists are coming to India to watch the World Cup, ICC World Cup cricket match, is it an export of service or import of service? The foreigners are coming to India, to Ahmedabad Narendra Modi Stadium to watch the final match between India and Australia. Is it an export of service for India or an import of service for India? It is an export of service for India. Export means that when you are exporting something, you earn money. When you import something, you give the money. Foreign tourists are coming into India. We are earning some amount of money. What we export, they take the experience from here, and whatever experience they are getting, they are taking into their country. Export of service happens, money comes in. India's export of services is higher than its import of services. If you are looking into the import of service and export of service from India, our export is higher. At the same time, in terms of goods, the import of goods is higher than the export of goods. We don't export much goods, but we're importing too many items, especially from China. And India's export of goods is less than the import of goods. Next point is FDI and FII. FDI, foreign direct investment, means that an investment which will stay longer in the country. It will not move out suddenly. For example, a foreigner establishing an atomic reactor in India, a foreigner establishing a university in India, a foreigner establishing a factory in India. That is a foreign direct investment. A foreigner is directly investing in a visible asset that will not move back from the country suddenly. If India has an economic crisis, a foreigner cannot easily sell his atomic reactor to somebody and take back his money is not easily possible. At the same time, if a foreigner makes investment in the portfolio investments in India, for example, a foreigner opens a bank account in India, deposits too much money there. When Indian economy is in crisis, he can suddenly withdraw the money and go back. A foreigner investing money in Indian stock market. Anytime if there is crisis in the economy, he will be able to take back the money and go back from India. Such investments we are called as foreign institutional investment, and the stable investments we call it as FDI, foreign direct investment. Highest FDI coming into India is from Singapore. The second highest is coming from US, and the third is from Mauritius. Singapore and US, you can understand these are rich countries. People have too much money and they want to invest money somewhere outside their country. After finishing investments in their country, they want to move out with investments. But how Mauritius? In the case of Mauritius, how Mauritius becomes the third largest FDI source for India, there is an interesting story. This is almost Indians' money is coming from Mauritius. There is a concept called as round tripping of money. That means an Indian. Mauritius has a liberal policy for the foreigners to start a business. Any foreigner can go and start a business, and the tax is also comparatively less. Large number of Indians are taking money from India. They are going to Mauritius and investing in Mauritius. They are establishing their own company or factory. A company established by an Indian in Mauritius, is it a Mauritius company or Indian company? It's a Mauritius company. The owner of the company will have a feeling, I should invest something in India, because finally, in the end of my life, I have to go back to India. The secure investment will be in my own country, India. Then that company registered in Mauritius, and he will make some investment in India, and to get a safer investment or a secure investment in his own country, the owner's own country. But in our calculation, the money does not come from an Indian. Money is invested by a Mauritius company in India, that is FDI, not an Indian investment. Money was taken from India to Mauritius. There the business was established. From there, the same money came back to India and reinvested in India. That is why Mauritius, mainly because of the round tripping of money, Mauritius becomes the third largest FDI source for India. The states receiving the highest FDI, Karnataka receives the highest FDI in India, and Maharashtra receives the second highest FDI in India. India's rank in FDI, as per the United Nations Trade and Development World Investment Report, India is the seventh largest FDI destination in the world. Moving to FDI at present. Foreign direct investment is allowed in India in almost every sector. One of the strategic and key sector is defense. Defense equipments manufacturing, for example, weapon manufacturing, defense aircraft manufacturing. Even in these sectors related to defense, 74% foreign direct investment is permitted through the automatic route. If I want to establish a defense equipments manufacturing company in India, being an Indian, I need to have only 26% Indian share, remaining up to 74% my shareholders can be foreigners. This is through the automatic route without taking any special permission from government. By the government route, by taking special permission from government, even up to 100% foreign direct investment is permitted in the defense. If it is permitted in defense, then which sector will be left over? Almost every sector, one by one, after liberalization, globalization, and privatization policy of 1991, we are permitting foreign direct investment in almost every sector. We are permitting the foreign direct investment. Sectors receiving the highest FDI, high FDI in India, computer software. All these are the 2022, because 2023 report did not come so far. As per the year 2022, the highest sector that is receiving the FDI in India is computer software and hardware. 24.6% FDI comes to that sector. Second one is service sector, finance, banking, insurance, research and development. 12.13% of the total FDI comes to this sector. Third one is the automobile industry, vehicle manufacturing, and 11.89% of the total FDI coming to India is in the automobile industry. Now, we have discussed regarding the FDI and FII. Export and import. Regarding export and import, we have to discuss more. We will discuss regarding the balance of trade, balance of payment concepts we will discuss. Before that, there is a concept called as forex reserve, foreign exchange reserve of government of India. See, we keep sometimes some reserve. You also might have some reserve, at least some 500 rupees I want to keep as a reserve in my bank account. If some crisis comes, I can take it out. Your parents might have sometime a higher reserve and some 10 lakh some parents used to keep. If a crisis comes in the life, if an extreme situation comes, I can take out that money. That is called as a reserve. If an individual makes a reserve, a family makes a reserve, then government also should have some reserve. Otherwise, if an economic crisis comes, we will never be able to manage it. The reserve of a country should be huge. At the same time, if we are keeping, imagine you decided, I will keep in one layer of my wallet, I will keep 500 rupees as a reserve. I will never take it out. What happens? After a few days, you finished all the money. When you're walking through the road, you saw a tea shop and very delicious snacks are sitting there. You will think that I will keep again another 500 rupees. Let me take it out now. You will take it out. The 500 will finish. At the same time, if you are keeping a gold coin as a reserve in your wallet, you will not be able to take it out and have a cup of tea. It will stay longer. Hence, keeping reserve in our own currency cannot be called as a reserve. That will be somehow taken out. Then RBI, Government of India, and Reserve Bank of India keeps the reserve either in the form of foreign currency. US dollar, we are keeping as a reserve. Then suddenly we cannot take it out and we cannot use it. Then hence the idea of reserve is that we are keeping foreign currency, maybe US dollar or any other country's foreign currency we are keeping as a reserve. Second one is gold we are keeping as a reserve. Gold is also a very good asset. If you are keeping gold as a reserve, after a few years, sometimes the price of the gold also might increase. You will have double benefit. Next one, another important instrument we are keeping as a reserve is SDR, special drawing right. Special drawing right is a reserve currency, and SDR, the full form is special drawing rights. Special drawing right is a reserve currency issued by International Monetary Fund, IMF. IMF to its member countries, if the member country is giving IMF some Indian currency and equal to that amount, IMF will give the member currency and a reserve currency known as SDR. Reserve currency means that using SDR, you cannot transact in the market. It can be kept only as a reserve of Government of India. In future, after 10 years, government needs Indian money, then we can give back the SDR to IMF. IMF will give us back the money. Next one is another important reserve is reserve tranche in IMF. See, reserve tranche in IMF means sometimes your parents wants to keep some reserve. They want to keep some gold. They have a fear that if I am keeping in my home, regularly my children will come to me and tell me that, Papa, you have this gold in this Almirah. Please take it out. We can go for a Europe trip and we can go for some other places. Let us see the world. Then money might finish. Hence, he might keep sometimes a gold reserve in one of his most trusted friends' home instead of without informing anybody. Same way, instead of keeping all reserves here in India, some reserve we are keeping outside India. In IMF headquarters, we are keeping certain foreign currency as a reserve that is called as the reserve tranche of India with IMF. Earlier, before 1980s, we used to keep gold with IMF. That was called as gold tranche with IMF. Exactly, the reserve tranche means that every country needs to take a membership fee in the IMF. That membership fee for every country's economic status, it will be different. We are taking our membership fee in US dollar or any foreign currency, keeping that money with IMF. Now imagine we have kept 100 crore US dollar as a reserve tranche in IMF. One benefit we have is that in future, government of India needs to borrow some money from IMF up to 100 crore rupees, because we have a reserve tranche of 100 crore rupees with the or 100 crore dollar we can keep. 100 crore dollar we have a reserve tranche in IMF. When we are borrowing from IMF up to 100 crore dollar, we don't need to pay any interest because we are borrowing our own money. If the borrowing exceeds beyond that, then we need to pay an interest. That is called as the credit tranche from IMF. When we borrow, when a country, member country borrows beyond the reserve tranche of that country from IMF, that is known as credit tranche. For credit tranche, interest has to be paid. Up to reserve tranche, no need to pay any interest when we are borrowing the money from International Monetary Fund. Hope everybody understood what is the reserve tranche with IMF. These are the four methods we are keeping the reserve: foreign currency, gold, SDR, special drawing right, and reserve tranche in IMF. How much reserve we keep? We have a calculation that the amount of money kept as a reserve will be sufficient for the import bill of India for how many months? There is a concept called as import cover. Import cover means the total amount kept by RBI as a reserve, maybe in the form of gold, SDR, foreign currency, and reserve tranche in IMF, or the entire reserve of the Reserve Bank of India. How many months import bill of government of India can be paid with that money? When we import means that I might be importing in India, you also might be importing some item from foreign country, and government of India also might be importing. All the total import coming into India for 1 month, how much for? Because obviously the exporters in a foreign country, they will never accept Indian currency. Indian currency is not a globally accepted currency. US dollar is the globally accepted currency. Then all the exporters in foreign countries, they want to get their bill to be paid in US dollar or in the currency of their own respective country. Then total import when we calculate how much total US dollar is required in a month to pay the import, that we calculate. Now if we are keeping, for example, the total amount of money sufficient for 12 months import bill of India as a reserve, then India's import cover is 12 months. That means the total amount kept by RBI as a reserve can cover the import bill of India for the next 12 months. Imagine India finished all the money, still we can continue to import the items for the next 12 months. Within that 12 months, we have to survive, we have to bring back our economy. If an economic crisis happens in India, our import will never stop. We will have the reserve money, which is sufficient for making the bill payment of all import required for India for next 12 months. Then import cover of India at present is 12 months. You understood the concept of import cover? The next point we are discussing is exchange rate of Indian currency. How exchange rate is decided? Definitely, there are multiple ways in the history how exchange rate was decided. Earlier, before 1973, IMF, International Monetary Fund, was deciding the exchange rate of every currency. What is Indian currency's exchange rate? IMF will declare from 3 months, every 3 months, IMF will declare that for next 3 months, Indian currency, $1 is equal to 40 rupees. That will be next 3 months. This is called as fixed currency regime. Fixed currency regime means that IMF was fixing the value of the currency of every country. In 1973, IMF had given freedom to the member countries. If you want, you can follow IMF exchange rate of your currency. If you want to follow, you can make a market-based exchange rate for your currency. That is floating currency regime. Floating currency regime means that the exchange rate of the currency will be based on demand and supply of the currency. Imagine one currency is too much available in the market, then the value of currency will decrease or increase. Indian government decided that let us make the people of India rich. To make the people of India rich, government asked RBI print enough currency and we want to distribute 10 lakh, 15 lakh to all the people of India. Then Indian currency's value will increase or decrease? Decrease. When you are getting something free, you don't have any value. But when you purchase something, you have the value. Government of Assam, sometimes when you qualify the 12th standard with the high marks, give the scooty. When government is giving a scooty and you will give the scooty to all the friends, they are going and roaming around on the scooty, and you will give the scooty, and if you have a car in your home, the driver of the car, he will come back home, he will go into market with the scooty. At the same time, if you take out 1 lakh rupees from your pocket and purchase a new scooty, you will never give to anybody for next first 6 months. Only you will use it. Every day you will take a cloth and you will remove the dust from the scooty. This Assam government scooty, I have seen here scratch and there scratch and fully dirty because people don't have the value when something comes free. When you earn something, the value is there. Same thing, when government is giving free money, money's value decreases. When money's value decreases, you will have, when you are going to the market, the onion shopkeeper will tell that 1 kg onion 1000 rupee, because why? You have free money given by government, give me the money, 1000 per kg is the onion price. High inflation will happen if the too much printing of currency happens in a country. My point is, if one country's currency is too much available in the market, the value decreases. If the country's currency is less available in the market and there is a high demand for the currency available in the market, the value of currency increases. Like anything else, during the season of mango, you can get very delicious mango and the price will be 50 rupees, 60 rupees per kg. Now it is the off season of mango, you will get the worst mango, but 300 rupees per kg. Same is the currency. When too much currency available, value is less. When less currency available, value is high. IMF asked the member countries, you can decide. Based on the demand and supply of your currency, let the market automatically decide the value of currency. If you want so, you can follow that. If you want us to decide the value of currency, we'll continue to decide. In 1973, when IMF has given this freedom, UK, the United Kingdom, England was the first country to declare that we want to go by the market determined value for our pound sterling. The UK became the first currency to decide the exchange rate of currency by the floating mechanism. India also followed the floating mechanism in 1991 when Indian economy was globalized, liberalized, and privatized. We wanted to decide the value of our currency by the floating mechanism. Some other countries are there. They are deciding, for example, Hong Kong is a country. For them, the value of the Hong Kong's currency is decided by a board of members. Under the Central Bank of Hong Kong, they have a group of 5-6 members. They will study every 6 months and they will declare this is the value of our currency for next 6 months. This is known as currency fixed by a currency board. Some other countries are there, like China. China decides the value of their currency in comparison to American currency. If US dollars value increases, Chinese government will declare our currency's value also increased. If US dollars value decreases, Chinese government declares that our currency's value also decreased. China is a country, they don't follow maximum the rules of the world and they follow their own law. No Facebook and no Instagram, and they have their own mechanism and their own rule of law. If somebody criticizes the Chinese government, next day he will disappear. And that is why this is called as pegging currency regime. Pegging your currency, pegging the value of your currency in comparison to the competitor's currency. If the competitor's currency's value increases, your currency value also increases. If competitor's currency's value decreases, your currency's value also decreases. These are the different mechanisms for deciding the value of exchange rate of currency existing in different parts of the world. Coming to the India's exchange rate. Indian currency's exchange rate was linked to the pound sterling, British pound sterling till 1948. Until we got the freedom, we made our own mechanism for deciding the value of Indian currency. Till that time, our currency's value was decided in comparison to pound sterling of British. If the British pound sterling's value increases, Indian currency's value increases. If British pound sterling's value decreases, Indian currency's value was decreasing. In the history, we will study regarding the civil disobedience movement of Mahatma Gandhi. In 1930, Mahatma Gandhi declared civil disobedience movement. In the history, you might have heard of Salt Satyagraha or Dandi March. Why Mahatma Gandhi declared a civil disobedience movement against the British in 1930? Gandhi met Viceroy Irwin, asked Irwin that, "Dear Irwin, I have 11 demands. Will you agree?" 11 told, "No, I will not agree." Then Gandhi declared that, "Then I am going to launch a national level movement against you." Finally, when Mahatma Gandhi did the Salt Satyagraha, because Mahatma Gandhi made a strategic movement, Gandhi took salt as a symbol of this movement. Why? British were every time telling the world, we are the ambassadors of the modern democratic values. We are the ambassadors of the modern civilization and the human rights. We respect everybody's rights. It was very painful for the Britishers if the world comes to know that they are oppressing Indians in India. That was a matter of shame for them. At least they were ashamed of telling the world that they did not want the world to know that they are doing some injustice in India. Mahatma Gandhi, taking salt as a symbol, Gandhi told that, "Dear world, please listen to me. Why I am doing a satyagraha or a protest against the British? They are charging tax from our poor Indians even when we make the cheapest commodity in the essential item, the salt. When we manufacture the salt from the seawater, on that also these cruel Britishers are charging a tax from us." Then British Prime Minister, that time the British Prime Minister was Ramsay MacDonald. When he goes for any international function, the other prime ministers are asking him that, "Oh, are you charging the tax on salt also in India?" Then he was feeling ashamed of that. Gandhi understood the enemy. How to defeat the enemy? It is impossible to defeat them with the weapon. They have more modernized weapon. Then Gandhi was attacking the pride of Britain. That was unbearable for them. The pride of Britain is getting, or the dignity of the British government is going down in the world, was unbearable for them. That was the reason Gandhi decided to walk from Ahmedabad, from Sabarmati Ashram in Ahmedabad up to Dandi, 240 miles. Mahatma Gandhi decided to walk. Why Gandhi did not go in a jeep or a car? Then international attention will not come. 25 days. That time there was no Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Gandhi cannot make a YouTube live video, see the world, and the salt is also taxed here. All of you, please join the protest with India. Automatically the international newspapers should know. Many newspapers were being published once in a week. They should get the information in their next edition. They should publish that. For that, Gandhi decided, let my protest be 25 days walking, 240 miles. When he starts the walking today, he make a public address. In that address, he criticizes the British very heavily. And next day, when he finishes the program, there will be a conclusion of the day. There also Gandhi used to give a wonderful speech. Then by the time Gandhi finished the Dandi March, the complete world knew that Mahatma Gandhi in India is doing a protest or a movement against the British to remove the tax on salt. Everywhere Ramsay MacDonald was going, he was getting this fun only. Are you charging the tax on salt also in India? Finally, Ramsay MacDonald called Irwin and told him that somehow convinced Gandhi to stop this movement. Irwin came to Gandhi and told Gandhi, "I am ready to accept your demands." One of the 11 demands, my point is, one of the 11 demands was then increase the exchange rate of Indian currency in comparison to pound sterling. They were placing the British pound at a high value, our Indian currency at a low value. Gandhi wanted, you must increase the exchange rate of Indian currency in international market. My point is, till 1948, exchange rate was linked with the pound sterling. After that, we followed the IMF fixed currency regime till 1991. After 1991 economic reforms, in 1992, we decided that we will follow the floating currency regime. That means Indian currency's exchange rate will be decided by market forces of demand and supply. Next one, at present, India has dual exchange rate. Dual means one is official exchange rate, another one is market exchange rate. There is not much difference between these two. For example, today early morning, RBI will declare that what is the official exchange rate of Indian currency. For example, $1 is equal to 82 rupees. That is based on the data of yesterday. RBI declares in the morning, analyzing the data of yesterday. Yesterday, how much was the supply of Indian currency in the market? How much was the demand for Indian currency in the market? Based on that, RBI declares that $1 is equal to and rupees 82. But if you have $1, when you are going to market now and you want to exchange, the market exchange rate will be based on the present situation, because every time market is analyzing how much Indian currency is there, what is the demand of Indian currency, what is the value of American currency. Based on that, market rate is fluctuating. When you go to market, sometimes you might get only rupees 81.5. You might get sometimes rupees 82.5 also you might get it. That means market rate is based on the present moment, what is the value of Indian currency. Official rate is declared by RBI every day in the morning based on the analysis of the previous day demand and supply. There is not much difference. Maximum 0.5 paisa, 0.5 rupees difference will be there in the market rate and the official rate of currency. Looking further into the exchange rate of Indian currency, what RBI will do and what RBI will do if the exchange rate is for managing the exchange rate of Indian currency. What RBI does? RBI may intervene in forex market to influence the exchange rate. How RBI intervenes in the market to influence the exchange rate? For example, imagine if RBI increases the repo rate, reverse repo rate, bank rate, what will happen? In the market, money supply will expand or contract. Contract. Money, we have studied already. If RBI increases the monetary policy rates, in the market, money supply contracts. Contracts means reduces. That means supply of Indian currency reduces. When supply of Indian currency reduces, the demand for Indian currency increases or decreases? Increases. When demand for Indian currency increases, the currency's value appreciates. At the same time, if RBI decreases the policy rates, repo, reverse repo, bank rate, RBI decrease, it will expand the money in the market or contract the money in the market. Expansionary monetary policy, it will expand money supply in the market. When too much money is available in the market, that means supply of money increased. When supply of money increases, demand will decrease. When demand for the money decreases, the currency's exchange rate also decreases. One example how RBI manages the exchange rate. Another example is that RBI sells and purchases the foreign currency. Why RBI sells? Why RBI purchases? That is also important. Imagine in the market, there will be a lot of people who are in need of foreign currency. Imagine she is an exporter, she is an importer. One container of goods is coming for her. For that container, she has to pay the exporter in US. The money has to be paid. The deal is that by the moment the container reaches in Gujarat, in a port in Gujarat or in a port in Gujarat, she must pay the money to the exporter in US. Then she expects that her container of goods will reach after 2 days. After 2 days, she needs some US dollar to pay the exporter in US. He will accept only US dollar. Then she is a person, an import business woman. or an import business person is in need of foreign currency. He is an exporter. He has exported some goods into any foreign country, and from that foreign country, that importer has made the bill payment in US dollar. Then he has the US dollar. He is in need of Indian currency. Now, what RBI does is that, for example, today, when RBI looked into the market, Indian currency's value is going down. RBI wants to appreciate Indian currency. For appreciating Indian currency, for increasing the value of Indian currency, the Indian currency supply should be reduced. Then demand will increase, Indian currency's value will increase. Yes or not? Then what RBI does is that RBI makes an offer. $1 at present is 82 rupees. If somebody wants to purchase the dollar now from RBI, RBI is ready to sell the dollar for a discounted price. $1 will be given to you for 81 rupees, for example. 82 rupees is the market price. RBI now makes a selling of US dollar. $1 will be sold for 81 rupees. Then what she will think? Day after tomorrow, she needs the dollar. Today, offer is going on. She will purchase that. She will take out her Indian currency and give to RBI, and she will purchase the foreign currency from RBI. When RBI sells foreign currency in the market, people of India are purchasing foreign currency from RBI and they are paying RBI the Indian currency. That means the Indian currency will be withdrawn from the market. When Indian currency is withdrawn from the market, the availability of currency reduces. When availability of currency reduces, the demand for Indian currency will be high and the currency's value appreciates. Then when RBI wants to increase the value of Indian currency, RBI will sell foreign currency in the market. Is it correct? If RBI wants to appreciate Indian currency's value, the strategy taken by RBI is to sell foreign currency in the market. When RBI sells foreign currency in the market, all of you purchase foreign currency, you pay the Indian currency to RBI, the availability of Indian currency reduces in the market. When supply of something reduces in the market, demand increases, value increases. Simple. Now imagine Indian currency's value is very high. RBI want to reduce the value. Sometimes that will be required. Why? I will come to that later. Indian currency's value is high in the market. RBI want to reduce the value of Indian currency. At that time, RBI will purchase foreign currency from the market. The people who have foreign currency, after getting a bill of export is paid, they have kept the foreign currency with them. RBI purchases the foreign currency. $1 is 82 rupees. RBI tells that we will give you 82.5 rupees today. Then RBI purchases the foreign currency. That means when RBI purchases foreign currency, Indian currency will be pushed into the market. The supply of Indian currency increases in the market, the currency's value depreciates. When RBI sells foreign currency, Indian currency appreciates. When RBI purchases foreign currency, Indian currency's value depreciates. How RBI manages the exchange rate? With two instruments. One is monetary policy. Second one is selling and purchasing of the foreign currency. Next one, how the exchange rate of the currency will be decided. What are the factors influencing the exchange rate of Indian currency? One is demand and supply of Indian currency. If supply of Indian currency is high, the value will depreciate. The demand of Indian currency is high, supply is less, the value will appreciate. Demand for goods and services produced in India. Why American currency's value is high and Indian currency's value is low? Imagine I have a business in Dibrugarh. My business, whatever products I am producing, that has a high demand among the people of Dibrugarh. From Dibrugarh, from Tinsukia, Duliajan, from everywhere the people are coming and they are purchasing my products. My value increases or decreases? Increases. Yes, my value increases, and because not only the money increases, for me the value in the among the business people increases because my product has a demand all over Upper Assam. Similarly, India produces something, the products produced in India or services produced in India has the demand all over the world. The whole world is coming and using Indian products. Definitely India's value increases. Economically, a country's value increases means that will reflect in the value of currency. Why American currency's value is high? Whether all of you are dependent on America, inside your pocket, any American product is there or not? You might tell that you have a Chinese phone, but inside the Chinese phone, Android is American. Yes, Google Android, and then you are paying money to US, and did you use either Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter or YouTube today? Yes, you paid some money to America, US. That is, the products produced in US has a high demand all over the world. When there is a high demand for the products of a country all over the world, that country's value increases. Economically, a country's value increases means that will reflect in the exchange rate of the currency. Then demand for goods and services produced in India is another reason for increasing the value of Indian currency. Selling and purchasing of foreign currency, as I told, if RBI sells foreign currency in the market, that means RBI withdraws Indian currency's value will appreciate. If RBI purchases foreign currency from the market, RBI is pushing Indian currency into market, Indian currency's value will depreciate. A stable government. If India has a strong and stable government, foreigners will have the confidence to invest money in India. At the same time, we have a hanging government. Sometimes government collapses. Sometimes government comes back. Sometimes the military is overtaking the government, as happened in Pakistan. Then foreigners will not have the confidence to invest in such a country, and that country's exchange rate of currency will go down.